Hangout, a podcast where two bearded film fans watch the 50 best horror movies ever, and then we talk about them. My name is Luke Condor with a K, and I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Ben Errington.
So, how's it going, Ben? So,
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I was reading, in other horror news, I was reading, well, look at this headline. Hysterical Brazilian woman punches herself and leaves the cinema screaming in horror after watching Annabelle Creation. So she went to watch this film, and it sort of had like a panic attack, and she ran out and started punching her face. And I've seen the video; it's pretty horrific. But
is it
PR stunt?
PR stunt, yeah.
Don't know, because well, it's not been reported that way.
Punching your face. Have you ever watched anything that has given you such an extreme reaction as that?
Well, you went to watch The Dark Tower the other day, right? So I mean, did you? Did you come out of that?
I did.
In the face?
I wasn't punching myself in the face. I was punching other people in the face. No. The Dark Tower. I'm not gonna go into it massively.
Yeah.
But you know what? As a film, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
As
an adaptation of Stephen King's magnum opus, it's not all right. But I kept my expectations low, and from the trailers and everything, I kind of knew what to expect.
Okay.
And it delivered on what I expected and more.
I like to have the lowest expectations always work, but like sometimes just having no expectations.
Just in general, just in life, I think that's a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all right. You know, I think if you're a big fan of the books, and you want to see a film version of the books, that ain't it.
Stephen King, you don't have to watch that because there's like a million adaptations this year. It's coming out, which we're going to do an episode on. Mr. Mercedes TV show, which I've been watching, which is really good.
Oh, you've been watching it?
Yeah, it's great.
Great.
I've not read the book, but it's.
I read the book, and I was iffy on it. I didn't think it was I didn't think it was fantastic. It was okay, but it still could be a pretty good story for a TV show.
Yeah. And what else is the thing is, Stephen King's always had like a shit ton of adaptations coming out.
Yeah.
Seems to, anyway.
Yeah, because his content is ripe for adaptation.
Yeah.
Ripe for picking.
Yeah. Okay, so we will do an episode on it at some point in the future. When does it come out? Is that soon?
I believe it's the 8th of September. I'm not sure if that's a UK or a US release.
Ages away.
It's goddamn ages away, man. Yeah, but I'm assuming we're going to be doing a specific It episode. Are we going to do it the week of, or are we just going to...
we may as well try.
Hey, man, we'll just see what our schedules are like, yeah? Okay?
It's definitely something I want to go watch pretty soon as it comes out. So, we'll try and get that in. Yeah.
I feel to say, don't want any spoilers, though, do you?
No. But I watched another horror film recently. I watched 47 Meters Down. I think it's called.
Sharkies.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was. It never kind of went full horror film. I kind of really wanted it to. There's not enough gore for me. Not enough shark taking limbs off action.
Was this a cinema trip, or did you find it?
No, it was a cinema trip. Yeah.
It was a cinema trip. Wow.
And I probably should have gone to watch. It Comes at Night. I think I would have preferred that.
Yeah, I've already mentioned this, but it didn't show anywhere near me, so I need to wait a while.
Yeah. Horror films for you. Okay, so today, back to the list. Last week we did. What did we do last week? We talked about
the Descent.
The Descent. Yeah.
The Descent.
The Decent. And then this week we are talking about number 27 on the list, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre from 1974. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, Ben?
Sure thing, Mr. Condor. Okay. Texas Chain Saw Massacre is a 1974 American horror film directed and produced by Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hooper. We've come across him before, and I did exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Tobe Hooper, who co-wrote it with Kim Henkel. It stars Marilyn Burns, Paul A. Partain, Edwin Neal, Jim Siedow and Gunnar Hansen. Yeah, we know who that is. Who respectively portray Sally Hardesty, Franklin Hardesty, the hitchhiker, the proprietor, and Leatherface. The film follows a group of friends who fall victim to a family of cannibals while on their way to visit an old homestead. The character of Leatherface and minor plot details were inspired by the crimes of real-life murderer Ed Gein.
It's bad
guy.
when it's bad when my trivia is like right in the intro. Like you just have the answer right there.
I've ruined the whole thing. There's like 10 trivia questions completely obliterated
I need to get more obscure with my trivia.
By my my bloated intro. That was a pretty bloated intro.
Oh, okay. Are you done, or you got more intro to go?
I'm done.
Okay, cool.
Finished. Finished. I'm full up on intro now.
Yeah.
I think I can't get into the podcast.
See you later. Okay, so this is what the Empire people had to say. 5 years after Scooby-Doo first aired, Tobe Hooper similarly put some teenagers in a van to endure a scary mystery. Their experience was rather different. Maybe they should have brought a dog, although it's doubtful it would have helped them. Actually quite light on gore, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre nevertheless remains a uniquely gnarly, punishing experience, from its grotesque production design to its family of cannibal freaks and its standout villain Leatherface. Some have suggested an intriguing Vietnam-era subtext about America eating its young, but the film functions perfectly well without it on a pure, primal level. Burns' screams ring in your ears long after the exhausting last act is over. I did think the last act was quite exhausting. The final shot of Leatherface dancing with his saw is an indelible image. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 88% fresh. It's got 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. The Horror Hangout Board of Advisors, Kev Hurst said, great stuff. Edward Harvey said, it's one of the greatest horror movies ever, in his opinion. The low-speed 16mm film they shot it on adds so much to the weird documentary-like atmosphere. They use the camera so well that it's actually beautifully shot. Performances are top grade. Marilyn Burns, the final girl, was tremendous. The ambient emotionalness, soundscape score is just perfect. Michael Mayunda says, Leatherface is definitely one of the great villains in the history of horror films. The ending is also one of the great endings where I never know how to feel with what just happened. It's unsettling in a good way with how things conclude. Definitely deserves to be on the best horror list. So, initial thoughts, Mr. Errington. Are you a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan? Are you a Texas Chainsaw Massacre hater?
Massacre hater. I've always kind of like, this film has always been one of those films that I genuinely am a little bit frightened of. Don't really know why. Can't quite put my finger on it. Possibly it's because I saw it quite young and it's kind of always like lingered there as being something. It's just quite unnerving. It's not a typical sort of like slasher film. It just doesn't. I think when this film came out and the years that sort of preceded it, there wasn't anything really like this, was there, at all? This kind of like
I think so. No,
span off the sort of like slasher genre or sort of everything like that. And again, another film on this list which seems like it overdoes it on certain tropes, but you know that this was one of the films that
this is where the tropes came from.
This is where the tropes came from. This was this is the beginning. This is I know films now are obsessed with the beginning and the how sort of certain characters came to pass. But the fact that there was such mystery and intrigue around this family and these characters, you didn't know anything about them until you just see them sort of committing these acts. We don't really find out why they do it, how long they've been doing it, anything like that. These are all questions that kind of linger throughout, and you kind of expect them to be answered. And when they're not, it's still kind of all right. But pretty terrifying. I think everything from this is unnerving from the get-go. Yeah. And I think there is something about the way it's shot as well that it just does feel.
Well, yeah. So I used to have a Woodstock DVD, and it was like a DVD about like so it was behind the scenes. It had all like performances of Jimi Hendrix and those guys, but then it also had like lots of the teenagers just sort of, having sex and doing what and smoking dope and doing the standard teenager stuff at Woodstock. But then like the way it's filmed, like it feels like this is a continuation of that documentary because it's the same 16mm style camera. It feels like this van is just heading home after Woodstock. So it's got those same sort of characters.
There's definitely something documentary-esque about it.
I think Tobe Hooper was a documentary maker before.
Okay.
Well, I think he did more documentaries anyway.
I see.
No, definitely, yeah. And it's like that intro as well, the way the intro text comes in that says, the film which you're about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths. And it it says like bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Like it reads like a true crime documentary rather than a horror film. And do you think that kind of thing plays into the same energy that was there with the Blair Witch Project? That whole pseudo realism that makes you think it can't be too far removed from you because it's real. Like
Yeah,
sort of feels real. Yeah,
definitely. And it's again another example of one of those films that probably when it came out, a lot of its audience probably were a bit like, God, did that actually happen? Is this did that thing actually happen? And I think when you're a lot younger and you watch these films and you hear those rumors that surround the films before you watch them.
Yeah.
You know, before the era of the internet and before you could just
Debunked.
Google something. What was that?
Debunked.
Yeah, debunked.
Websites, yeah.
Yeah, before you could do that,
bullshit.
it was just it was bullshit. It was just word of mouth, wasn't it? And if someone said, "Oh, you should watch this film," like these people got murdered like in the 70s, 60s or whatever, watch it. It's terrifying. Like you watch it, but what you're going into it completely with your heart on your sleeve, thinking it could be real, and that horror, that terror, kind of really does take over. Whereas if you're watching something and you know it's just 100% fiction, there's none of that air of ambiguity about it. It's much easier to sort of pick apart and say, well, that's ridiculous, that never bloody happened, this didn't happen. Just seeing this stuff sort of come to life is scary. And all the crazy the crazy stuff and all the violence kind of happens without fanfare in this film.
So there's no jump scares. It just like when we first see Leatherface, he literally just pops out.
Oh, mate!
Pops out, and then we will get into it when we get into the actual story. But like, it just seems so like, I don't know, like you just sort of saw a guy coming out of a door. There's no jumping camera angles or anything. It's just the shocks are like real. There's no real shrill noise when he just appears or when he clubs someone over the head with a hammer. There's no it's there's no fanfare, and it's not over the top at all. It's just done real simply to the point. Bang! Here's something horrific happening. As you said, even though it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it is pretty light on the gore. You don't see limbs getting sliced off and flying off and squirts of blood flying up the wall and stuff. You don't really see that. It's kind of like the massacre bit feels like what came before, possibly, because there's a lot of bones, because there's all
skulls and stuff.
The way it starts as well, after that intro text, someone's made an art sculpture out of dead bodies.
Yeah. I think there's just something real creepy about hillbilly families in the South that might potentially there might potentially be cannibals or mass murderers. There is just something generally scary, and obviously this set it off. We saw there are loads of other films that kind of did it, and I mean loads of Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. I mean we've had a prequel, and I think we're getting another prequel soon called Leatherface. Reboots and sequels and stuff. So obviously, this is the kind of slasher. For me, this, if you're calling this a slasher, would you call this a slasher genre? A slasher film?
I don't know if I would, because when I think of slashers, I've go to Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, and also the meta slasher, which is Scream and that kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas this feels more like an actual Scooby-Doo episode, but an actual horror. So I was surprised actually. I thought Scooby-Doo would have come after this as a sort of play on this sort of film. Definitely. I didn't realise that Scooby-Doo came before.
No, that's definitely that's incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. What else does Scooby-Doo inspire? Many things, I'm sure. Drugs.
Drugs. Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Scooby snacks.
Yeah. But okay, so should we talk about the story and get into it?
All right.
Okay, cool. So the key players in the film, I'm going to reel them off here. There's quite a few. Marilyn Burns plays Sally. Alan Danziger plays Jerry. Paul R. Partain plays Franklin. He's the cripple. William Vale plays Kirk. He's one of the cool guys. Terry McKinn plays Pam.
Kirk? Sorry to interrupt. Kirk is just Disco Stew, right?
Disco Stew, yeah, he is Disco Stew. Edwin O'Neill plays a hitchhiker. He's one of the cannibal people. Jim Siedow plays the dad of the cannibal family. Gunnar Hansen plays Leatherface, and John Dugan plays the granddad, who we'll talk a bit about, I think. But so how did it start? So it starts with that text that kind of threw me off guard. I think the last time I saw it, I've only ever seen this once before, and I think it was another Stella Artois Channel 4 late night movie. There's quite a lot of those.
We've got Stella Artois to thank for so much.
Yeah.
Not just the wonderful beverage it brought into our lives, but also the many films we've seen late at night on Channel 4.
Because it's the only way I saw a lot of these films.
I miss like the event of watching a film on TV, like knowing a film was going to be on TV tonight.
Yeah.
And you were going to watch it, and your friends were going to watch it, and you're going to talk about it in school on Monday morning.
Yeah, and if you didn't watch it, then you'd be an outcast.
If you didn't watch it, you could just fuck off, mate. Yeah. You could just fucking get out of here.
Yeah, and then that's how Leatherface was born. He didn't watch TV with his friends, became a social outcast. You're alright, you got something in your mouth.
I just had an actual insect in my coffee.
That is an actual insect.
It is like an earwig or something. It is actually an earwig. It was an earwig in my coffee. How did it get in there? What is it doing in there? What have I consumed?
I swallowed a fly the other day, and I didn't swallow it. I breathed it in, which I think is worse. Like when you inhale one, and it just goes right down the air hole. Yeah, I can see it, Ben. Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening. I'm shocked.
Ben's holding the earwig.
I don't think I've ever had an earwig in my mouth, ever. But I nearly swallowed it because I thought, it's just a bit of grit or something. Oh, just swallow that down. Get that down your neck. Earwig.
Just a coffee granule.
I'm shaken up. Not only because I was enjoying that coffee.
Are you going to drink the rest of it?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, I might actually. Wonder how it got in there, because that's a scalding hot cup of coffee.
Having a bath.
It was having a lovely bath.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've moved on from the film. Let's talk not about earwigs. Okay. Let's talk about the horror of Leatherface.
Anyway, it's good protein in it. Can't complain too much. Okay, so we start off with like there's a scene where like a local graveyard has been like dug up. Some corpses have been like made into like some weird like art sculptures. I don't really know. We ever find out too much about it, but it's just a creepy little thing to start the film off with. And then we cut to inside the Shag and Wagon. I don't know if that's a nickname for it, but it's that kind of thing. It's like a hippie love truck or something. And then so we're introduced to all of the main guys. They're having a good time. Like on Wikipedia, it says they're going back to check on some grave. That makes sense. That's why they're going back, because the grave's been robbed. I didn't put two and two together at the time.
So it's like their grave of one of their grandfathers. Is that right?
Oh, okay. So that's why they're going back.
I mean, this doesn't seem like that kind of trip, does it? You don't get the vibe that they're going.
That's why
we're just off to investigate some vandalism. Because it's almost like
they're in party mode. They're like just, I don't know. It just seems like they're just on a road trip. Yeah,
it's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
I thought they were on a road trip. I thought they just coming back from somewhere they'd been partying or going somewhere to party.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was a bit confused about exactly where they were going and what they were doing.
Yeah.
Initially.
They pull up at one point, and because what's the name? Patrick, is it? Kirk. Who's the guy in the wheelchair?
Guy in a wheelchair.
Franklin. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he needs a wee, and then they let him out. And for some reason he pees into a tin. I didn't really understand.
Yeah, I thought the whole scenario of that, of sitting in a wheelchair and then peeing into a tin, that was just awkward and difficult for everybody involved.
Yeah, and then he falls down the hill. Like
he goes down. He goes down the hill big time, doesn't he? I thought someone pushed him, but no, just slid down the hill. I mean, he's already a liability. I mean, no offense to Franklin. It's not because he's disabled in any way, but
he collects his pee in his tin.
Because he collects his pee in this tin, and because he's not very good. Just put the bloody brakes on, mate. Come on.
Just put the brakes on.
He's really annoyed about going down the hill as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, god dang it. God damn.
He's a pretty funny guy. So at some point around here, they pick up a hitchhiker. And this is like a real goofy looking guy. I think he said he works at like a butcher slaughterhouse or something. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. He says he works at the sort of local slaughterhouse.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
This guy was a bit correct. This is one of those guys where you're like, oh, we're gonna pick up a hitchhiker. As soon as he gets in, you're like, get out, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You're crazy. You're crazy. I thought this guy reminded me a little bit of Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren. I thought if there was a legit remake of this, not that there would be. They don't need another remake. I think the official remake was 2003. But if there was a remake of this, Adam Driver would be an ideal crazy hitchhiker dude.
Who would make a good Leatherface?
Yeah, because he's playing a southern guy in the new film Logan Lucky, so we'll see how his accent is.
Yeah.
See if he's ready to go.
They also mention, one of the girls mentions that Mercury's in retrograde, which is I didn't even know what that was until quite recently. It's when I don't think it's an English thing. I think in America they say when Mercury's in retrograde, it means bad stuff happens, right? So, have you heard that expression before? Are you not drinking your coffee? Are you?
No, I think I've heard that like in a song, maybe.
Yeah.
As a lyric.
Block Party.
Mercury's in retrograde. Mercury's in... Yeah, exactly. When you said that then, I was just like, yeah, that's from that song, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm keep looking over just to make sure there's no like bugs crawling out of your mouth or your ear.
I feel like something's in my throat. I feel like something's in my mouth. It's because I've got nowhere to put it, so the bug is just there, dead. You know, just
eat it. Finish the job.
Eat it. Get it down, you lad.
Okay, so Mercury in retrograde. That means it's going to go bad. So they pick up this hitchhiker, and he's a nutcake. He has like a little flowery bag thing that he takes a knife out of there, and then he's a nutcake,
and the first thing you say is, he was a nutcake. He had a flowery bag. Like you're just walking down the street, seeing people with flowery bags, and going,
look at that nutcake.
Look at that nutcake. He's got a flowery bag. She's got a flowery bag.
He's an absolute nutbox. So like he gets out this knife. He seems kind of normal up until this point, and he goes, as if I'm going to show you a trick. He like cuts into his arm or his hand or something pretty deep, and then he just shows it to them, and as if like, look what I've done.
All right, David Blaine, I'm going to show you a trick. Shazam! You just cut your hand, mate. You just cut your hand. That was it. That's not a trick. If you cut your hand and then you looked and it was no longer cut, that would have been a trick. Yeah, and then he gets the old Polaroid picture, the Polaroid camera, doesn't he?
Takes the picture and then tries to get them to pay for it, which is classic. We all do it. I take pictures of people all the time, so that's a tenner.
I take pictures of people against their will, usually through some bushes, through their living room window, and then go knock on the door and demand money for it. They're always angry about it.
Just taking this picture of you from that bush. Can I have some money?
And they always get angry, which I think is like ungrateful.
Yeah. So that's when you get your knife out, and then so this is a weird bit. So he cuts Franklin. So he gets a bit like miffed. Because they don't want to pay for his photo. He says like, that's $2 down the bin, because they're Polaroids. You only get 6 or something, and then that's like £20 gone. Okay, so then he gets his knife and he cuts Franklin across the arm, and he jumps out of the van and he starts blowing raspberries at them in frustration, like that, sort of as they go by.
Oh, I'm so frustrated. How do I vent this frustration? Oh, that is it.
I've only ever seen one person blow a raspberry in frustration. It was my mum when we were in the back of the car, and because she never swore around us, she has terrible road rage, but she wasn't allowed to swear. And then a guy she tried to get in a parking spot, and the guy went in there first, went, "Oh, you," out the window, and then we drove off, and we were. And then all of us kids were like, "Oh man, mum's angry."
How did the guy react? Did he even see it?
I don't know, because
just looked out of his window, just saw go.
Yeah, I imagine he blew a raspberry back. Because
have you got a go-to word that you will say in frustration if you really want to swear, but you know that you can't in that particular scenario? Anything you say in
particular? There's no situation where I don't allow myself to swear, because I don't really swear that often anyway.
Yeah,
I only swear like, I don't know.
Do you ever swear around like a new audience, and then you give yourself a few seconds to go, just gauge your reaction of these people? Because I've C-bombed, and they've only met me for 4 seconds.
I don't C-bomb. I don't think.
I like to C-bomb, but I like to say it in like. C-bomb? I like to C-bomb, but I like to say it in like a northern accent, so then it's a bit more playful.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? People can't take you quite so seriously if you're just going.
Thing is, I can't say it without it sounding like I'm just sincerely talking about the actual thing, like
I'm not sincerely talking about it.
Yeah, but I can't even say it now. Like that's how I just wouldn't say it. Like it's not in my.
I thought about saying it, but I thought we shouldn't drag this show even further into the gutter.
Yeah,
because we don't only C-bombs. We might get some. We might get flagged.
We already had fucking earwigs on it.
You would have a fucking earwig in my fucking coffee, mate. Don't fucking make me say the C word. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens now? Okay. So they leave the hitchhiker. And he leaves a bloody mark handprint on the side of the van. He places some raspberries, and then he get to the gas station because they need to fill up with some gas. Franklin's worried that what's his flavour fruitcake is going to come after him.
Flowery bagman.
Yeah,
he seems to think that the blood on the truck is kind of like a marking.
Yeah.
You know when you hear those rumours when you're like, is there this symbol sprayed outside your house? That's burglars telling everyone else that it's ripe for burglaring. Have you heard those stupid rumours?
Yeah, but I like the way you said it.
I can't even say
ripe for burglaring.
Ripe for burglarizing. It's ripe for burglarizing. I always hear those rumours. People sharing on Facebook going, "Oh, if you see this symbol spray painted somewhere, it means your house is going to become a crack den." I don't know.
Interesting. I need to look into that to make sure that my house isn't going to get turned into a crack den while I'm in bed. So this is another. When you get to the petrol station, gas station. When you get to the gas station, this is a trope, and they haven't got any gas, so they're going to have to, I don't know, fill up the next day or something. So this is a trope that I don't know when the Hills Have Eyes came out, but it's not something I've seen before this. So this must be
Hills Have Eyes, maybe like late 70s, possibly.
Yeah. So this is a trope that's what we see more and more nowadays.
Yeah. Well, like that. Yeah, but you always, with whoever's owning the gas station, you always think they are lying. Okay, Hills Have Eyes, 1977.
And the guy who got to play this guy, Jim Siedow, is an absolute mole man.
Hans Mole Man. I'm 24 years old.
So they've so like they've got like this such a weird sort of people to play this family so far. Maybe a bit of a spoiler there. They might have the spoilers in this episode. Anyway, so they go, okay, we'll fill up the tank tomorrow. We'll pop some gas in there later. So they go to this like little house, I think where their grandparents lived or something. I mean, it looks like a shithole. Like it's not somewhere else. I'm swearing more now you said it. It looks like a right fucking tit wanker house.
It looks like a right tit wank of a house. Yeah, I know what you mean there, Luke. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. It's messy is what I'm saying.
It's a bit of a shithole, but it looks like it's been abandoned or something. So they've all got like memories there, you guess.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of like weird artwork, I think, in some of the places where obviously someone's been there's a bit of a Blair Witch sort of thing going on.
Yep.
And then two of them, another bit of a trope, we get a young couple decide to go off for a swim, but there's no water, and then
they go to find a swimming hole, but it turns out the hole's dry.
So they want to get some hanky done. Yeah, the hole is dried up, and then they find this other house, and then they go in, and this is like the first horror bit because this is quite far into the film as well.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, the house looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
better
than
outside,
that.
You think?
Titwig of a house.
Better than that titwig. I mean, from outside it looks pretty lovely.
Yeah.
But they do this classic thing where no one's answering the door.
Why
just go in.
Yeah. What is that? Why is that
normal? Never happens. That never happens. No one ever does that. They just leave.
Well, then again, Cat's mum does it. Yeah. Like when my fiance's mum, when we're not in, she just walks in.
Well, that's your fiance's mum.
I suppose it's different. I suppose it's a little bit different.
I suppose it's different, but you react in the same way as Leatherface does in this scene, and you club her over the head with an hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay, and then so they go inside. Kirk is not the Disco Stew guy, but he's very cool. Not quite as cool as Disco Stew, but he goes in, and then, like I said, Leatherface just opens the door, and he takes a mallet to his head. Yeah, pretty much in silence as well. Does he make a noise? Does he sort of go? Yeah, he makes some like you know the Tusken Raiders from Star Wars. Yeah. That is true. That is exactly the noise Leatherface. So Leatherface pops out with his
One more time, please, Luke, just so I can.
and then
that was a little bit Chewbacca.
Star Wars on the brain. And then Stu gets a hammer on the brain. Kurt gets the hammer on the brain. And then I actually thought this was kind of horrific. The way he falls down, and then he just starts his leg starts just spasming. Yeah,
there's two. There's two. I think the two most effective bits of this film for me, the bits that I remember the most, when it comes to talking about this film, is all in this scene when he gets hit with the hammer, and then is subsequently sort of like twitching and jerking from that. And it's how I don't know why this sticks with me, but it's how Leatherface pulls the body inside, and then it's how he slams the metal door across.
Yeah, he seems like pissed off, and he's got to get back to the butcher shop.
It's like, and it's just so effective because as soon as that door shuts, all of the sound from him and from the body just completely shuts off. It goes quiet for a second. And it's that where it's like, fucking hell, Jesus, he's been bludgeoned.
Yeah. And then Pam, she waits outside for a little bit, but then decides to go inside. And then we see like a load of... this annoys me. So Pam goes inside after Kirk's been hammered in the head. And then she sort of falls into the living room, and there's like all this artwork made of bones and there's like skulls and stuff. She's there for like 20 minutes going, ah!
It's proper screaming, proper... like nothing,
just,
like you've seen some bones, but don't be shocked by every new bone you see.
Yeah,
there's a skull there. There's another skull there.
Just like take it all in.
It's OTT, innit? It's OTT. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
First thing you do is you see that shit, you get the hell out of there. You wouldn't be in there in the first place. Yeah. You would not be in there, even if your matey boy had gone in there. You would not go in there. She goes in a different room. Why does she fall in as well? That happens a lot, doesn't it? In films like this. People fall into things. Like it takes.
Well, you see, serial killers like to put race toy cars.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say. I mean, I wouldn't say I got the best balance in the world. I mean, I fall on my ass occasionally, but I don't. I think it'd take a lot for me to like fall into a room. And even if I opened the door and there was like some horrible stuff in there,
very liquid.
I would probably very liquid.
The only thing I fall down is when I'm wearing my socks on the stairs. And I'm going downstairs in a rush, and I do that awkward thing where you fall on your ass and sort of go down 2 steps. And then you just like 2 minutes later, are you alright?
Are you alright? Fucking hell,
I used to fall upstairs a lot, because I used to run upstairs. Kids, we don't do it anymore when they're a bit older. Well, I don't. You used to do that weird thing where you sort of like pounce on the stairs like Wolverine or Spider-Man. Like hands first, sort of like...
Stair bouncing. I reckon I still do that occasionally. I always run upstairs. This is. I don't know why.
Am I on old bed?
Do you run upstairs? Or would you just walk upstairs?
Just walk upstairs now. What's happened to me?
I always run upstairs. I don't know why. It's almost like they're an inconvenience. It's like I'm on the bottom floor. I want to be on the next floor. For God's sake, these stairs. I always run upstairs.
Stairs. Yeah, no. Yeah, I need to start running upstairs again, I think, because that was good exercise as well.
Yeah. It was a good 4 seconds of exercise.
Yeah, and I'm going to start doing it at work as well, in the work stairwell.
Yeah, do that and push. You got to barge people. You got to barge people out of the way. Basically, if people come too close, just growl at them as you run up the stairs. That's Leatherface, that is. Sorry, Leatherface.
You're a horror fan. Nice. Okay. So she's looking at the art. She's screaming. Time's ticking away. And then she goes into the other room, and I think Leatherface finds her in the same way he found.
I mean, it's pretty much Christmas for Leatherface, isn't it? Because he strikes me as the kind of person who goes out and about looking for his victims, bringing them back, ripping their skin off.
Do you think he does this often then? Because they think of like dead bodies, don't they? Like, I can't imagine to get that much.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's probably a good point. So you think his skin mask is made out of dead bodies?
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. We should look into that. But okay, so this is the bit that horrifies me. That I remember very much from the Stella Artois Channel 4 midnight movie, where he picks up the girl, and then he just sort of hooks her onto this like meat hook.
Yeah.
And then she's just like unable to move. Stuck to this hook, and as she's sort of like draining her blood and whatever, he just starts cutting up and chainsawing the boyfriend that he killed earlier.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's horrific. Like even in today's standard, I think that's a really horrible scene to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty definitely brutal.
And all because she stared at that art a little bit too long.
Yeah, come on, love, get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Okay, so and then Disco Stu. So Disco Stu. So he goes after them. He's like, where the hell has this guy's gone? And he manages to find, quite far away, but he still manages to find. If he follows the clues, the pool's dry. I bet they're.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty good detective. I know people say Batman is the world's greatest detective. The world's greatest detective is Disco Stew, aka
Scooby Stew.
Jerry, Scooby. Can't even say that. It's Jerry from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, he is a great detective.
And he like disco walks as he finds clues.
That's a sick beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, he is the epitome of disco. I mean, I know we're describing him. He's got afro, little round specs, and has he got like
and a sweet ass.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's got a sweet ass. He's got some. What kind of trousers has he got on? Flares.
Flares, yeah.
I was going to say chaps then. He's got those assless chaps on. He's looking good. You wait, Leatherface, till you see this. You can't handle this.
See the skin. Okay. Right. So anyway, Disco Stu goes in there and he finds he goes in the house like the others did, and he finds a fridge, and I think he goes in for a ice pop, and then the lady who got hooked is in there. She's sort of dead but alive-ish, like halfway between. She ain't gonna make it. Yeah.
No.
And then does he get? So what happens? So he gets killed with the. How does he get killed?
I think he gets clubbed again, doesn't he?
So he gets clubbed as well. Okay.
I think he gets clubbed again. I mean, Leatherface doesn't strike me. I know he likes a chainsaw. Chainsaw's like that's his thing.
Doesn't do it that often though, does he? I mean, it's only like halfway through the film.
Yeah.
So
maybe the hammers. Maybe the Texas Hammer Massacre.
The Texas Butcher Massacre. Texas Slaughter. The Chainsaw Massacre did have a nice ring to it.
Yeah. It sure does.
Yeah. So even Disco Stu's afro can't withhold the power of the hammer.
He's got some of his best hairspray on the afro.
Yeah.
But the hammer just smashes through it, you know? I mean, that's not... He's trying a different brand, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so he's dead. So that's 3 down, and then we've got 2 left, which I think are brother and sister. Sally and Franklin. Franklin's the guy in the wheelchair. Sally's the girl.
She's that girl.
She's the final girl, yeah. So night's coming down. They're looking for the friends. They've not come back. I think they decide to go have a little walk out. Leatherface appears out of nowhere. This bit's pretty brutal.
Yep.
He shoves the chainsaw right into Franklin's middle, and it goes on for quite a while. And then Franklin's obviously dead. No one can take a chainsaw to the middle and still live through it.
He had no healing potions on him, so he's gone.
Yeah. And okay.
I kind of wanted a better end for Franklin, because he was the guy who seemed
the main character of all of those people.
I wanted him to just rise up out of his wheelchair at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe with like some robotic legs and take Leatherface down.
You know, like in Planet Terror, where Thingy fixes like an AR rifle to a stunt.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted something like that to happen.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, because he was the one who was like the most freaked out about everything. He was the one who was a bit like, something ain't right here. Do you know what I mean? He kind of felt like he deserved a more fitting end than perhaps Sally. He should have probably been the last one left than Sally, but I guess.
But the final girl, I wonder if that trope comes from this.
Yeah, possibly. Probably.
Possibly. Okay, cool.
So now starts some crazy running away from Leatherface scenes that got me out of breath. I don't know about you, but I was out of breath watching these scenes. She sprints off away from Leatherface, screaming and yelping,
tripping,
and falling, tripping, and doing all that stuff. You know that final girl should do. And Leatherface is right. Leatherface is right behind her. He's light on his feet. I mean, he's a big guy. He's got a big chainsaw.
Yeah.
But he is nimble.
Roller skates. It's the 70s, man. Come on.
Yeah, at one point I did think he was moving along and
gliding.
He's just gliding along. But yeah, so she kind of like runs it back into the house, which is like, would you run back into the house? Do you know what I mean? Would you?
Wait, she goes into their house, right? Not.
Is this a different house? Yeah.
What? It's not their grandparents' house. I'm pretty sure she goes into.
Oh, sorry, she hasn't been in there yet. Sorry.
No, okay.
I was getting her confused with the first girl who got meat hooked. Because they do look pretty similar.
They do, yeah.
In my head, I'm trying to remember who's who, and they look the same.
Yeah.
She
runs upstairs, and she finds like an old couple, and they look they're dead. For all intents and purposes, they're dead. Like they're dried up.
Dead. They're dried up like a couple of raisins.
Yeah, I think she asked one of them for help, and like the head just sort of lolls to the side.
She still asks them for help.
Yeah.
I said, "Help me! What's wrong with you?"
And then she jumps through a window to get away from Leatherface.
Yeah, so Leatherface comes upstairs, and she's
like, twice. Does she jump through 2 windows?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, she does. She does. She does. She jumps through a window later as well. She jumps through a window with ease.
Yeah.
I mean, that is thin glass.
I bet she pounces upstairs as well.
She pretty much like walks through the window. She just goes like,
yeah, single pane up there back then. They didn't have double glazing.
That's it. She walks through it like it was just
like T-1000,
fog.
Like walking through it like a wall, like a prison bars, whatever you call them.
Exactly.
Okay.
You box her in, she's gonna get out of there. She's gonna walk straight for the wall.
Yeah. Okay. So she runs away. She gets away from Leatherface, but she makes her way back to the petrol station. Sorry, the gas station. And the guys there. There is actually kind of a creepy bit. Like, this guy's. We know something's wrong up here. So he says, "Sit down there, it's fine." And he leaves the door open, and Leatherface was literally out there like 2 seconds ago. And it's like this is very like this weird pregnant energy that like Leatherface is just going to turn up at any point, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he could just casually walk into a scene. I think that's what's quite scary about it.
Yeah, and then this is because that's what he does before. Does he just appears?
There's no build up. There's no like, oh my god, Leatherface is going to be here in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the music doesn't build. There's not like those classic moments where you see it from Leatherface's point of view and he appears. Yeah. He just casually strolls into a scene.
He's like generates like a character sprite, just sort of pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, he don't don't make a noise or go, look, I'm here. Well, actually, he might make a noise.
Look, I'm here, guys. It's me.
Over here. Yeah. Over here, Leatherface here. Come on.
So, have you played Resident Evil 4?
I have indeed.
There's when you first go into that town at the start, and you just hear this like somewhere in the distance, like there's a chainsaw going. I find
terrific.
It's like,
and it takes so much to kill those chainsaw wielding guys. So it's the guys with like a sack on his head, isn't it?
Yeah, sack head.
Oh man, you blow that guy in the face. You blow him off. you blow that guy in the face and in the knob.
It's a weird game,
and he still don't die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's because you hear it.
Resident Evil took a turn. Yeah,
it's when you're in a village. It's when you're in a village area or something like it's quite open.
Yeah.
And you just hear it, and it's hard to tell exactly where it is, and you're just kind of around a corner, and he'll just be there.
Yeah. But there's a similar sort of like scariness here. I think because chainsaw is such like a powerful weapon that it's just a scary idea that like you would have to get away from it or something.
It's just because as soon as it comes at you, you can have your head off.
They cut trees, man. Chainsaws, they cut trees down. Okay, so she's hiding in this in the gas station. The guy's like, wait here. And then this is where Hans Molman suddenly gets a bag, and like he obviously, we know pretty quickly that he's in cahoots.
He's bad news, man.
But he like puts I think he gets like a broom, and starts like poking her with a broom, and like like he's got kind of like a weird.
He starts brooming her backwards.
Yeah, trying to broom her into a sack. I don't know how he does, but he gets her into this like sack, and then into the car. He drives her back to his dad's house. We meet the hitchhiker from earlier. He's been out all day. He's just got back. So now it's all coming together. Yeah, and Leatherface is there. It's all coming together. So then he says, right, you're coming for dinner. He puts Sally on in this dinner table, and then now we get like the whole family's here, and one of the old dead people from before, the dad, is there, and he looks like a dead body. But then I think they cut Sally's finger and like shove it into the dead guy's mouth, and he starts like sucking on it. It's gross. So,
it's
like,
gross because this dead guy. I mean, he's got like the prosthetics in this are a bit lame. So his mask is like a classic sort of horrible old man face.
Yeah.
Leatherface at this point is dressed as a woman as well.
Leatherface is a weird because when you think of like those sort of those killers, those classics like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, there's something very insanely masculine and sort of straight about them. Do you know what I mean? No,
yeah. I know
when
what
I
you
say
mean.
straight, I mean like I don't mean like non-flowery or like anything, but I just mean like
they haven't got a flowery back.
They're like a Terminator. They're like a machine. But like Leatherface is such a weird sort of character. He makes these like squeaking noises.
Yeah,
and like he's
almost like a bit. He's scary. He's a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, he's like a big dumb child.
He's like a big dumb bloody idiot, isn't he?
Yeah.
And also this family, I think they're all proper into this cannibal killing stuff.
Yeah.
Is one of them not like, I'm not into this. I much prefer like golf, and I'm just gonna go off and play some golf.
Well, we don't see the old mum, do we? Like,
no, we don't see the mum. We don't see
playing crazy golf.
There's no sisters. These are the ones who are left. These are the crazy cannibals who are left.
Yeah. And then it gets like a fever pitch here. Like Sally like screaming for about 20 minutes. They're all of them are they're like laughing and giggling at her. And then they put the hammer into the dead guy's. He's not dead, but he's pretty much dead. Like this old, the granddad of them.
The old fart.
They put like a hammer into his hand, but he can't hold it. He's too weak. And they're trying to make him like crack her head open, and they succeed to a degree. But like he's dying. This old guy.
Even when he like drops the hammer onto her head, I'm like, that's still bloody hurt.
Yeah. Well, like it chips a bit out, doesn't it? Like there's a flap of hair. It's probably like the goriest thing we see, actually. We don't see much blood in this at all.
It's when she leaps and she escapes, leaps through a window.
She sees the window and she goes, "Oh, all right, I know what to do."
All right, like that, is it?
Yeah.
Let me out of it. Not even head first. It's like fingers first.
Fingers first for the window. And then she runs away. Leatherface now chases her, and the hitchhiker guy chases her. Again, we're at fever pitch. She goes like the sun's rising now. It's gone crazy. She's running away. She gets to the middle of the road. The hitchhiker gets run over by a truck.
Yeah,
his body gets properly rolled up.
He gets absolutely flattened, flowery bag and all.
Yeah. And then she jumps onto like the back of this guy's truck, and then Leatherface, and then they get away. And Leatherface is just dancing around with this like chainsaw, just going a bit mad. Yeah,
there was a bit where sort of this guy gets out of a trailer, doesn't he, and tries to sort of help her, and that's when he throws a wrench at like Leatherface's head, and he falls over and like chainsaws his own leg.
Yeah.
And he ain't happy about that.
No.
But she does get away in the end. She's covered in blood. She's sort of looking back. It's kind of like it's real early morning, so the sun's just rising, and he's kind of chasing her.
Quite a pretty shot.
It's quite a pretty shot, yeah.
So these scenes were all filmed on 60mm cameras, so they had to have a lot of light to get the images. So it's interesting to see how they, like how bright some of the images are, because I imagine that would be super difficult.
I wonder how they did some of the scenes at night then, if that's the case.
Yeah, just like a load of studio lights, I guess. I don't really know.
Just a load of bloody big lights, mate. Massive torch.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how it ends. I mean, it's kind of a cool visual ending. It's by that point I'm ready for that to end, because it's been screaming for so long.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's been screaming for so long. I was ready for her to shut up, because she'd been screaming for most of the film. And I understand she was in a terrifying scenario, but just shut up.
Yeah. Okay. So shitty pants moments, jump scares. Is there anything that we missed that you caught?
Shitty pants moments just when he appears in various guys in various scenes, when he just walks into the scene. That was pretty scary, but that's because it wasn't expected. You know, in films like this, you kind of expect a bit of a build. You kind of know when that or that jump scare when that killer's gonna suddenly appear.
Yeah. You're right.
Earwig. And yeah, but when he just walked into the shot, it was a bit like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The finger sucking that creeped me out a bit.
Oh yeah, was this something that was happening during the film?
Yeah, well, earwig.
Were you sucking on your own finger again? I shouldn't have done that. Sorry.
And what else was scary? I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It's another one of those films. Sorry, go on.
The whole idea of being chased by a man with a chainsaw is kind of
and I mean the chasing sequences were relentless. You know what I mean? I mean it was hard, they didn't let up. It was just constantly like, oh, he's right behind you. So again, comparing it to a game, you know, when you're like running away from some sort of creature or some sort of thing, and you're running away. Maybe like let's do a Resident Evil one again. The Nemesis in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
When you go for the door for the first time in Resident Evil 3, you're like, in the other Resident Evil games, if you go for a door, the creature's always on the other side.
Yeah.
You walk into the room a bit, suddenly Nemesis is behind you. You can never get away from him.
Yeah.
Constantly running. He's got a rocket launcher. That's not fair. Running.
Oh,
Leatherface.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not fair. I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. It was just like the relentless pursuing beast.
Yeah.
It was annoying. It was just like, just give up, mate. I mean, he's a bigger lad. You think he'd run out of breath, but he doesn't.
It's his cardio and
high
protein diet. Yeah.
Oh.
So trivia, you ready?
Oh, why? Of course.
Okay.
Luke.
Number one, during development. Oh, but I was going to say. So Tobe Hooper, he directed Poltergeist, which we talked about before, and throughout that we talked about how it was actually directed. We felt like it was actually directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's actually come out as true. So I think very recently, Tobe Hooper's actually said that Steven Spielberg was on set every day and he was directing every shot. And but it's because he couldn't. Steven Spielberg had already got another film coming out, and he couldn't have two.
It was E.T., wasn't it?
Interesting, very interesting. I didn't know that.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be annoying if you're Tobe Hooper, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he seems like he's taking it on the chin. Okay, so number one, during development, Tobe Hooper used the working titles of Head Cheese and Leatherface.
Head Cheese.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I wonder, is he talking about Leatherface as Head Cheese?
I don't know.
I think he must be. Or is he talking about Sally? Or Stu?
Disco Stew, man.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Number two, Tobe Hooper intended to make the movie a PG rating by keeping violence moderate, language mild, and having the most of the horror implied off-screen rather than on-screen. So he wanted a PG rating.
PG? False.
No, it's true. Apparently, according to the internet, but we'll never really know. But PG rating sounds insane. Like, when I think of PG, I think of E.T.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Jurassic Park or something.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Tobe Hooper.
Was he still going to call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? PG version of Texas Chainsaw. Well, what'll happen is a chainsaw come down, it cut away immediately to a lovely flowery bag.
Yeah. There isn't much swearing and stuff, but like, there's enough violence. Like, I would never go for PG.
No,
he's insane. Yeah.
Even if the violence appeared off screen, it would still be a pretty terrifying film, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so number three, Leatherface's first line came through as gibberish in the film, but in the script, it was actually written as, "Oh, hello, my name is Leatherface. I was practicing my butcher moves."
I really hope that's false. False.
It's false.
He
didn't say anything. So number four, the real Texas Chainsaw Massacre actually took place near Poff, a small town about 36 miles southeast of San Antonio.
That's got to be true. It's too specific.
It's false. The film is fictional and is based loosely on the life of Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein, as is the classic.
You've had me there. You have had me there. I think I misunderstood the question.
Right. Okay. Well,
give me half a point, then. Give me half a point. No, it's all right. It's all right. Take the point away from me. I know what you're like. Stern when it comes to these things.
Yeah, mathematical. I've got them all written down. How many points you've got? I actually have no idea how many of these you've got right in this particular episode.
Let's be honest, Luke. I get most of them right most weeks. Let's not muck about. All right. Okay. I'm not a mug.
Okay. Number five. The narrator at the beginning of the film, his payment for doing the narration was a marijuana cigarette.
True.
It's true, yeah. Those were the times. Those were the days.
Those were the times, man. You know,
Yeah.
you could buy any. You could walk into any general store and buy everything with marijuana cigarettes.
Yeah, yeah. Free love and a marijuana joint and a bit of film
Yeah.
narration. Okay,
Can I have some money though? Because I got to pay my rent. Nah, sorry.
Pay your landlord
Sorry.
and joints.
Yeah.
Secondhand smoke, blowbacks.
Joints of meat.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. You did well. I think you got 1 or 2 right in that one.
Great stuff.
So we need to rate the film.
Oh,
Have you got a rating in mind?
I think so.
We're going to say it at the same time. You ready?
All right, count down from 3.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. B.
B.
I
Look at that.
kind of knew it'd be a B. I don't know
We're on
why.
a wavelength. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
It'd be good if we were a little bit more confrontational with our ratings. You know, if you really loved it and I really hate it, and we were like, ugh.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
we get to the point in the podcast. You know, there's no time.
Yeah.
There's not really any time for debate.
In the future, I'm going to start guessing what you're going to guess. What you're going to give it.
I'm that predictable, am I? I'm that predictable. Or maybe I'm going to mix it up. Maybe one day I'm just going to throw an F in there, even if I like it.
You won't throw an F in there.
I will. I'll throw an
know
F in
you.
there. I'll throw an F in there.
Okay.
I kind of think with these, it's difficult when you watch this film. It's hard to.
Talk.
It's hard to. I try and compare it to films we've previously
Yeah.
sort of rated, but then I find it hard to remember what I rated other films. So
We're too far gone now. Like, I just have to, whatever I'm feeling at the moment, like, I can't have any game plan as to
yeah, I kind of, you know what I mean? I just do it on a night, you know? I just do it on a night. However I feel
This
on
is the
night.
night.
This is the night, man. However I feel on the night, I think, yeah, B.
Yeah. Me too. I think it's a really great film. It's not one of my favourites. I think I can understand why people really, really like it and really dig it, and I'm sure because it gave birth to lots of tropes and the whole American cannibals and that kind of thing, and the petrol station and the final girls and the chainsaws and the Leatherfaces. You know, it's great, but it's I don't know. It doesn't hold that much nostalgia for me because I only watched it when I was quite a bit older, and after I'd seen a lot of the stuff that this influenced.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It influenced a lot. There's like been remakes and prequels and all that stuff, and there's probably going to be there's a new one coming out. I've said that already, called Leatherface. No, it's the vegan version. Pleatherface is coming out soon. That's gonna be. I mean, that's gonna be great. He's not gonna kill anyone though. No, he would never do that. It's against his morals.
Yeah. By the way, so he's meant to be a real butcher, right? Like Leatherface.
I don't know if he's qualified, mate.
Right. Okay. Because I've seen one of the prequels or one of the sequels. I'm not too sure. And he's actually a butcher, like he's a qualified butcher.
Oh, for God's sake! This is with the prequels.
Yeah.
Like with prequels of anything, especially horror films. Like part of the thing that makes it scary is the mystery. We don't need to know if Leatherface was like used to be a lawyer or like he loves a can of Fanta. We don't need to know. We don't need to know any of this stuff.
Lilt, I think it was in the film.
sorry, Luke. You know, I'll get confused sometimes.
Lilt Zero.
No, Lilt Zero. He loved that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. We don't need to know all these things. Like, I mean, sometimes it's cool to have a bit of backstory, but all these things are silly. I do want to watch. I do want to watch the remake again because I think I quite enjoyed that. There is one called The Beginning as well. I wouldn't mind watching that. Not to enjoy it, just so I can.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Like one of them, he's a real butcher. The only reason I say this is because in this film, like when you butcher something, you bleed something out, right? You don't just let it. You don't just start chainsawing something, right? So I don't know. I don't think
he doesn't seem like the kind of person who has any logic in comparison. No offense, Leatherface.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the kind of person who's got any logic in comparison. Like if he came in and you're like, "Oh, Leatherface, you clocked in," you'd be like, "Hey, Leatherface, have you cleaned all the? Have you washed out all those surfaces?"
At the end of this film, where he's dancing around with the thing, did his alarm and his watch go? He goes, "Oh, I've got to go for work."
Oh, bloody hell, 9 to 5 again. little butcher's hat goes on.
Yeah. Opened up the shop.
Oh, man.
Okay, cool. So that's it. So it's a B. It's a B between both of us. So
It's a B.
it's a great film. Definitely recommend it. It's on Shudder and Amazon.
Is
and
it?
DVD apparently. So next week we are talking about The Others. Quite high on this list. I think it's a little bit of a shocker. A bit of a twist in the tale there.
That's incredibly high.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this. I don't know if you did, but we'll have to see how we get on with it. So this show is brought to you by Story Studio Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com and grab a free book. Become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Cowman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star rating. Cheers. And thanks to my co-host Ben for being a real horror dude.
Thank you very much, Luke.